Hey everybody, I am Omni Rusted, and we are back with the RimWorld Tutorial Series, and today we're going to be going into picking your colonists. Now, we see that we have picked a place where we're going to land, so we hit the next button. So it shows you here, oh hey, very first person was me, what do you know? So you see the people that you can have, and the left behind. You will never see these left behind people, or at least I've never seen them. So there's a lot of different things you can pick on here, and a lot of different things you can customize. Now, you look at your team skills here. This is actually a really good lineup to start with. But the things you want to look for is the 3 starting specialities that you want to go for, and you want to specialize your people. You absolutely want to specialize them. The 3 jobs that you want to be able to start with, or at least the 3 split ups that you want to start with, is a person who can construct and mine, a person who can farm, and then maybe craft, and then a person who can do medicine and intellectual. Your constructor is going to be building all of your buildings and mining out all of your stone, or at least mining out stone if you have anything that needs to be mined out of the way. Your farmer will be the person who will do all of your gardening. Maybe your hunting if you need any hunting done, if you have a good shooter. And then the crafting will be, you can sometimes split up your construction and your crafter so they will make bricks, because you need a person that makes bricks very early on so they can make your starting walls. So a person who can, for example, do crafting and can do construction, that's a good split up. A person who can do farming and mining when they're not farming, good split up there. Your person who could do medicine can also do crafting when they're not doing medicine, or can do intellectual. It's basically you have a primary job and then a secondary job. The secondary jobs are the mining, the research, and the crafting. The primary jobs, the absolutely must have. You need a good constructor, you need a good farmer, you need a good doctor. So how you find these is you look at your traits, and you can also hit the randomize button. Now normally I would keep somebody with this split up of traits. If we look at the little flame here, it shows the passion that they have to learn those jobs. The passion is how interested they are. When they're doing that specific job, they will gain a little bit of joy, and they will learn it faster. If you click on one that, or at least hover your mouse over, you'll see if they don't have any passion in that, it goes from no passion, where they learn 35% of the normal speed, to the tiny flame passion, where they learn it at 100%. That's normal passion. Whereas if they have the double flame, they learn that at 150%, and joy gain is time 2 when they are doing that one. Oh, that is actually a really nice person there. So basically what you're looking for is a person who has either a little bit of passion where they're interested, or extremely burning passion in those skills that you want, and they will start with some familiarity. So what we do if we don't want this person now is we look at the traits. The traits, iron-willed, really good. If you want to know more about this, I am going to be doing a series on trait breakdowns, and you can see which ones you like, which ones you don't like, and which ones can really be balanced against other ones. So for example, we've got iron-willed, which is really nice. Mental break threshold, negative 18%. He's also depressive. He is going to have a permanent mood effect of negative 12. Depressive is one of the best, one of the worst. Careful shooter, absolutely one of the best if they have shooting skill. He does not have any shooting skill, so while he will have better aiming, he'll have longer aiming time, he will shoot more accurately, but he learns shooting really slow. Careful shooter doesn't go well with no passion in shooting. So we're going to hit the randomize button to see if we can find anybody better here. Jogger, bloodlust, abrasive not a good one. We'll keep going. Night Owl, nudist balanceable, jealous balanceable, but doesn't really have the skills that we need. Nervous, nimble, trigger happy, all really good ones. Well, not nervous, but if he has, for example, nervous is a balanceable skill where you can balance out that mental break threshold by just keeping them happy all the time. So you look at the skills they have. This guy does have medicine, and he does have intellectual. He also has growing and crafting. All really good stuff. His medicine is also pretty good, or at least average. His intellectual, also average. He can learn, so we'll see if we want to keep him. We go to the next one. Slothful, misandrous, teetotaler, all negative traits. Get rid of her. Construction and mining. Oh, and look at that. A hard worker. Global work speed plus 20. This is an amazing constructor, and hey look, he also has my name. That is a definite keep. You also want to look at combat skills. Do they have melee? Do they have shooting? Do they have nothing? Are they incapable of violence? You do not want people to start with that are incapable of violence, unless they're a doctor, because you don't really want your doctors to get into combat anyway. So doctors best if they have shooting, if they have medicine and shooting skill. So this guy's got medicine, he's got shooting skill, he's a keeper. So that is basically our doc. Now, what I like to do, you don't need to do this, but I personally like to go, hey, he's going to be my doctor. This middle one here is going to be the nickname, going to be the one that you see them most often on. He is my doctor. So I name him after the role he's going to be fulfilling. You don't have to do this. I like to do this. Yes, that is me, but he is also a constructor minor. I'm going to call him engineer because he is going to be my engineer. This person, I like her skills. Now this is where we got a toss up here. We got to decide which one we want. She has burning passion in medicine and intellectual. She's got interest in crafting, no real combat skills. Then we look at her traits. Fast walker, she will walk a lot faster. Slothful, on the other hand, means that she will do everything slower. You do not want slothful with a doctor. They will heal people much slower. That is not a good thing. So that means we're going to keep this doctor. We're going to get rid of her because, hey, we don't have a grower. We need a farmer. Now, if you see somebody that like, oh, he's got a heck of a lot of skills, I might want to keep him. You can just drag him down to the left behind list as sort of a, we'll keep him a little bit and see if we get anybody better. I can also look here. Hey, look at that. Green thumb and a fast walker works really well as a farmer. He doesn't have any passion in it, but growing doesn't need passion really. Once you get past, say, 8 to 6 growing, you can make everything. On the other hand, he's incapable of violence, so I don't want him. Green thumb grower, really good. Misogynist, abrasive, both negative skills, don't want him. Hard worker, very good. Abrasive and neurotic with growing, not good at all. Pyromaniac, never ever get pyromaniacs unless you think you can balance them. It's all up to you. So we didn't really find anybody that's a good grower, so we'll take whoever's next and just keep randomizing until we get good traits along with growing skills. Oh, see, or somebody else that we might want to keep. This is an incredible one because they have burning passion in shooting and careful shooter. So I couldn't grow at first. They're not that good at growing, but they might be good at other things. For example, they might be a good researcher when they're not hunting. Maybe I'll get another grower later on. I don't know. Maybe I might want to risk this. I'll put her down here, take Go-Go here, and start hitting the button again. Maybe I'll find a good something else that I go, oh, that's a much better grower, and hey, is also going to be really good in battle. Maybe it's worth getting rid of blue here for somebody else. Like that, super immune optimist, really good, has a little bit of passion in growing. I gotta compare him against my hard worker here. I'm gonna keep that hard worker for constructing and mining because that is actually a lot better. He is amazing, but does not have the traits I need. But he has a little bit of passion in growing. Maybe I'll get another grower later on. Maybe I will. Maybe he can start doing growing at first, and then eventually I can change his speciality. So at first, he will be my farmer. And there you go. You look at the traits down here. I don't have anybody to cook it first. That's fine. Somebody can take care of it. Cooking is not as important as our 6 primary jobs. So, you know, you never know. Also, excuse me, other things you want to look at. Injuries. When you're picking people, will their injuries slow them down? You can hover your mouse over. You can see this torso is going to make it so he has 8% efficiency loss on every job he does. He's going to be a little pain constantly. A little pain is easy to deal with. But you can see right there, efficiency 85%, torso 92%. He is going to lose a lot of efficiency on anything that's going to be manipulation skill. So you want to look at their jobs there, and I didn't find anybody with it, which is amazing. But occasionally you can get somebody whose age is so high. Yes, he's got great artistic. Yes, he's got great social. But look at all of that. Hearing loss, frail, artery blockage, the wounds that they can get, and the stuff that they can start with can really slow them down. Asthma, treatable. Also, you can replace her lungs later on to get rid of the asthma. Some people will occasionally show up with addictions. Addictions are a horrible thing to start with. You do not want to have addictions because that means you're going to have to deal with the addiction the entire time until they get away from that. And that means you've basically lost that person for most of the beginning of the game. You do not want to have addictions to start with. So you look at their age. Yeah, they're a little bit old. They don't have any horrible like hearing loss or anything. But after a year, is their age high enough where they might develop asthma, they might develop a frail back, something like that. They might develop artery blockage. Some things are dealable with. Asthma, artery blockage, you can deal with those at first. Your doctor can take care of that person. They can deal with that at first until you get an organ to replace that through whatever means that you normally get organs. So, psychite addiction, one of the absolute worst, takes forever to get rid of, and they will have breaks constantly. You cannot deal with that at first, even though they might be super immune, they might be a hard worker, they might be the best person you've ever seen. You don't want to have them because for half of the starting game, you will only have 2 people because he will be in constant mental breaks. He might be slaughtering your animals. He might be going berserk. He might be wandering around in a daze while a raid is happening and gets shot down. You do not want to deal with that. This person here, amazing skills. Do they have really terrible traits? There's a lot of stuff that you got to look at. So we have our 3 starting people. They're okay. There's some scars. You can get rid of scars later by replacing that limb with prosthetics or with bionics, whatever. Another thing you want to look at, what are their combat skills? We have 1 melee, we have a shooter, and we have a shooter or melee. That is good because you start with 2 guns, you start with 1 dagger. So for the start, we have 2 shooters, we have 1 melee. That is perfect. This is a very good starting thing. Yes, we have some scars. That will slow him down when he's moving. This will make his manipulation a little tough, but scars are very easy to deal with. So that's a good starting lineup. And after that, you just hit the start button. It'll generate your map, and then you can go land. And that is all for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys for the next one, which this actually looks like a really good starting spot. So we will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.